Update tonight, India and Pakistan now on the brink of war. Brand new satellite images show the aftermath in Pakistan after Indian airstrikes hit the region. India fired missiles at Pakistan early today, calling it payback for last month's massacre of Indian tourists, for which Pakistan denies responsibility. Pakistan says it now reserves the right to respond. Pakistani officials call the attack an act of war and say they're prepared.
There is a possibility of this conflict, expansion of this conflict into a full-fledged war, which we are trying to avoid.
I know both very well, and I want to see them work it out. I want to see them stop. And hopefully they can stop now.
The United Nations, Russia, Turkey, and China are calling for restraint. Israel says it supports India's right for self-defense. India and Pakistan are both nuclear powers.
Why pay more for my...
All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and a few sisters out there. It says like foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom in Hebrew, which means peace. Clearly, we are entering World War III. Now, these two countries, I don't know why I stuck on this broad.
An update tonight.
These two countries, if you go into the history of things, are actually the same place or the same people. After the British, Esau, the so-called white man, left that region, he split it in two. So you have the Pakistanians, probably, I believe, one of them, just like the, whatchamacallit, Iran, was it Iran? The Shiites and the Houthis. You got the extremists and you got the non-extremists. You got the Muslims and the Hindus and so forth. So they are split by religion, political affiliations, and so forth. Entails proves that history is repeating itself. It's like we're in a time loop, so to speak. And why I said it like that for? Because it's like the same thing that happened in World War II. All right? Not what these two countries, but the overall bigger picture. Because you had little fires. Matter of fact, you had fires that was getting lit up real quick. It just popped in my head. Luke 12 and 49 says, I come to send fire on the earth, and what would I if it would be already kindled? The fire that he's sending on the earth before the nuclear fires is these little fires that's happening around the earth. So little fires, people and their differences are going at it. This is all orchestrated by Yahawashi. All right. Yahawashi is organizing World War III. I like that. That's a good title. I don't know if I remember if it happens like that. All right. Yahawashi is organizing World War III. Why? If somebody don't know, we'll explain it through the scriptures. Because everything that's happening is happening for a reason. Zephaniah 3 and I believe it's 5. No, 6. Slack, yeah. Zephaniah 3 and 8. It says, therefore, wait ye upon me, saith the Lord. So Yahweh, the Lord telling us to wait upon him. Now, what would he say? Let's go back to the basics. Why would the Lord say wait on him? Right? Why would he announce for brothers to wait upon him? If the God of the Bible is so peaceful, for all you nincompoops out there, you idiots, people that don't think, if he was so peaceful, why did he flood the world? Why did he destroy the Egyptians? Why everybody that came against the Israelites in the scriptures, he handled them? All right? Because the God of the Bible is not what you think. The God of the Bible is, like the scripture says in Exodus, I'm not going to get it, I'm just going to quote it, that the Lord is a man of war. So if he's telling his servants, those that he loved, to wait on him, just imagine what is going to happen when he let loose. It says, until the day that I rise up to the prey. Now, anybody that watches National Geographic or any of that sort, there are two major, I won't say major characters, but major classes. Yeah, let's say it like that. You have the predators, those that prey for food, and then you have the prey, those that are preyed upon. And those that are preyed upon is usually meat for the predator. They don't kill just to kill. They kill for survival. So the Lord said he calls these non-Israelites praise. And then they're not the Israelites. Well, it is for survival, to be quite honest, because the world is completely against the Lord's chosen people. So he said, so it says, shall I rise up to the prey? For my determination is to gather the nations. So the Lord's plan is to gather the nations. Now, where is the Lord planning to gather the nations? Where? And it says that I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them my indignation. So the assembling of the nations, that means all nations. All right? We're not talking about countries. You're talking about nationalities. Biblical nationalities. Now within elam, because that's what they are, Pakistanis and the Indians, which are same people, they have a conflict with one another. So this conflict is not just a regional thing. This conflict is sparking out all over the place, because these conflicts, there's a bigger conflict that's happening right before us, in which, through the spur of Yahawashi, we've been saying about World War III for a long period of time. Even your local news, all right, your fluff news is making mention of World War III. Now, what the Lord says he's going to pour out his indignation is, when you read the scriptures, indignation means righteous anger. All right. For all my furious anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. For what? For what they've done to the Lord's people. Now the East Indians, Elam, all right, they treat the Lord's people as they're nothing. I was watching some film. I don't know what the name of it. No, it was called White Tiger. I believe it was called White Tiger. Let me look it up. That was not my attention, but you know. White Tiger. I believe it's White Tiger. Yeah. Tiger. No. Movie. All right. Yeah, this is a movie. I forgot what I was watching. Yeah, on Netflix. So I was watching this film. This is based on the land of Elam, India. All right. He's in his. This whole movie is about. Damn, they said it. She said it too in the movie. Casting or cast, meaning there's an upper class and there's a lower class. Man, the way they treat their fucking people, it was completely dehumanizing. That's what Esau would have said. There's is a deep dehumanizing situation. All right. It says a rich Indian family's ambitious driver used his wit and cunning to escape from poverty and raise up to the top of his as an entrepreneur. But I believe it's called casting. Damn. Let me see if I can find it. That's what all these other countries follow, by the way. Casting system. There, caste system in India. Caste. The Indian caste system is hereditary social stratification based on birth, influence, occupation, social interaction, marriage patterns. It has been a significant aspect of Indian society for centuries, originally centered on 4 major categories. Not know how to say that. So priests, warriors, traders, merchants, and laborers. While the system has been legally abolished, its influence permanence, particularly in rural areas, and many still identify with their caste system, with the caste. So the movie's basic on they get this guy from a village, a bum, a nobody. He's a driver of the rich, but the way they treat this guy and people like him throughout the whole movie, you would have been pissed off. Like, damn, these people, they treat their kind like they ain't shit, and that's exactly what it was. They was slapping them in the back of the head. Bam, shut up, bam, bam, disrespecting them, saying a whole bunch of shit. So the film is with that one. She's another East Indian. I forgot her name. Good looking East Indian. Elam chick. And what's this girl's name? This broad right here. Yeah, this girl. So she's from New York, and she's like completely against this whole system, because the way they treat this guy, the driver, in the red background, and so forth. So, despite all this that I say, if you see how the way they depicted the poor of their nation that became drivers and so forth, that have no education and all that, and I live around these people. A lot of them are just a bunch of nobodies, but they act like they're above Jake. They act like they're above you. These people don't use toilet paper. These people, you know what I'm saying? Certain things that they do. Now, these people that come over here, now this is the ironic, funny thing. This is how you know the Lord did a number on us, blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. This show's not based on this film. I just wanted to use that. These nations are nobodies in their own land. All right, I'm gonna repeat it again. These nations that come to America, that live in our neighborhoods, that have built up stores and all this other shit, they are nobodies in their land. Yet, and the key word, yet, they come here, they look down on you, blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. They make all the money that they could possibly make, send it home. So when they go back home, they live better than they was. But you are a stepping stone over them. Okay? Now, Luke 16 and I went to the point. There it is. 20. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate. Whose gate? The rich man's gate. The rich man in this proverb, this parable, is Esau, Edom. Alright? It says full of sores. So Lazarus represent whom? Israelites. The true biblical Israelites. And desiring to be fed with the crumb which fell from the rich man's table. So they're not asking for much. Our people never really ask for much. All we wanted, no matter what language it was, to be treated equal. That's why there was the slogan, not I'm black, I'm not proud. This other one, this another slogan. Basically, they're just screaming out that the black, this is like, man, I'm a man. I'm not a boy, I'm a man. Jake desires to be equal, or just to be equal. All right. Anything goes south in justice, Jake desires to be equal to them. So, saying that to say this, Esau plays a dirty fucking game, which we all know. He gives not even leftovers. He don't take care of his servants at all. Because at the end of the day, we are servants to them. It says, and the desire to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. So the dogs represent the other nations. All right, licking the sores. When you have a sore, it needs time to heal. They're not allowing the time to heal at all. Matter of fact, they're allowing the wounds to remain. So they'll come around our neighborhoods, make money, bank, okay, set up shop, making everybody assume that they're royalty, that they're better than the rest of us and all this. They're nothing but the lowest of their nations that come here and benefiting from our downfall. To be honest, Revelation 11, I want to go to the point. Well, 8. Wait, I said 11, 8. What are we? I gotta go to 8 anyway. Revelations 11 and 8. It says, and their dead body shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. This is talking about America. To those that spiritually dead is the Israelites. All right? The biblical Israelites are spiritually dead. The land where it's similar to what? Sodom and Egypt, which Egypt represents bondage. Sodom, we all know what that is. All right? This is where all the alphabets, everybody that is considered to be an alphabet character, this is where they flourish. And the image of our Lord is X'd out. All right? It's completely X'd out. But here's the point. And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see the dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer the dead bodies to be put in graves. So all these other nations and their conglomerate, their collusion together, and just like a couple of weeks ago, you had Shador Sanders, the NFL owners, they colluded together to make sure he didn't get what he wanted. Well, guess what? That was nothing new. They've been colluding against the nation of Israel for a long period of time. All right? That's what Psalms 83rd chapter comes about. So, saying that to say this, putting everything together, we're starting to see the Lord is anger towards these other nations. Once again, we're talking about a people that just separated by, I believe they separated by mountains, but yet they're the same. And they were influenced by Esau to remain indifferent. Now they're willing to destroy each other, and they both got nukes. That's what you would call God's plan. And I'm gonna prove it real quick. All right. And it says, matter of fact, that was a point. That was a point. Let me prove my point. Isaiah, should I get the one in Isaiah? I believe. No, Jeremiah. Jeremiah 30 and 16. It says, therefore all they that devour thee and shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be spoiled, and all that preyed upon thee will I give for a prey. So, they also have a group of people in India. I forgot. I think the Dalek or something like that. But it's supposed to be the untouchables. So, using their caste system, thinking of their caste system, people that look like exactly like them, because they come from a certain area, they get treated as shit. I mean, in that film that I make mention of, talking about getting disrespected, smacked in the back of the head, calling it stupid. You had grown men giving other grown men massages. If they don't do that, they'll beat you. There's like and you like, what the like, you know. But all that to say, this is how they treat their own self. So they come over here, look down on Jake. The same people that was getting treated back at home like shit, they come down and look at Jake like they nothing. So all that animosity, they took it out on us here. So this is why the Lord said, look, all these people that hate you, all these people that did you dirty, all right, look down upon you, you're gonna be over them. All right? It says, for I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee from thy wounds. Which is the sores, right? The Lord is gonna heal us. We need to be healed, not these other nations. All right, at period of time they are running the world. They're embedded with Esau. This is why they could come around our neighborhoods, take over, make bank. All right, they could do all this stuff, get away with it, scot free. Not scot free, but they'll get the best part of the American dream, the American pie, so to speak, while we remain in the bottom. And we all know that you hear the story. You don't work hard enough. You don't do enough. You guys are lazy. This, that, to the third. You hear all these things. And then how these people live. Majority of the men will come from different countries. They will have maybe a couple of bedrooms. Like 20 of them motherfuckers. Some work at daytime, some work at nighttime. And they all sleeping in the same bed. Don't take showers. Stink. But yet they better than majority of blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Make that shit make sense. But all that happened to us was the Lord wounded us for what we did to him. This is the only reason why these nations are above us. All right? And it was an act of God. Okay? It was an act of God that we are in the condition that we are in. If it wasn't for that, none of these nations would stand a fucking chance. The Lord had to intervene. It tells you in Isaiah the 42nd chapter. He had to take us down for these nations to get up over us. It says, saith the Lord, because they have called thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents, and have mercy on his dwelling places. And the cities he shall build upon her own heap, and the palace shall remain after the manner thereof. So the Lord is going to restore us for what he took from us. Okay? But part of the Lord's restoring is what? Allowing our enemies to go against their own selves. Okay? That's the God honest truth. The divide and conquer tactic that's been displayed on the children of Israel is starting to happen to these other people. This is why it's a worldwide event. Let me go to this one real quick. Jeremiah 25. I believe it's 25. No, it's not 25. Cup. Jeremiah, is it 27? Thinking of. It'll pop up. Nope, it was 25. Slack ya. Jeremiah 25 and 15. Yeah, that's the one. For thus saith Yahweh, God of Israel, unto me, take the wine cup of this fury at my hand, and cause all nations to whom I send thee to drink it. Now, what is that cup? This is basic stuff. Psalm 75. I believe. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red, and is full of mixture. And he poured out of the same, but the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth, shall wring them out and drink them. That cup is slavery. All right? That cup is slavery. So all these other nations, the Lord told Jeremiah, look, go give them that cup. And they shall drink and be moved. So they are going to drink. What it means to be moved? Like it says in the NLT, says, when they drink from it, they shall stagger, craved by the warfare I will send against them. So the Lord is making his mark. This is the Lord's determination, all right, to gather the nations. Because they made mockery. They did all sorts of things. The root cause of World War III, I must keep on saying it, it's not because the illuminating ones, what's this guy named? The Mazzini letter, something like that. My memory's not sharp right now, but it's not because Albert Pike and the Freemasons came up. Oh, we got to come up with 3 world wars and no. This is all part of the Lord's masterful plan that he, from the beginning of time. All right. All this is all credit to the Lord. The Lord is gathering all these nations up, making them have conflict towards one another. And it's all going to lead them to what today we call the Middle East. All right? It's all going to lead to that region. People are going to take sides. And whoever has the clear greatest advantage certain people is going to go with them, and the others are going to be the opposite. Henceforth, World War III. It says, verse 17, Then I took the cup out of the Lord's hand and made all the nations drink unto whom the Lord has sent me, to wit, Jerusalem and the cities of Judah and the kings thereof and the princes thereof, to make them desolation and astonishment and hissing and curse as it is this day. Pharaoh the king of Egypt, his servants and his princes, all his people, and all mingled people, all the kings of the land of Uz, all the kings of the land of Philistines, Escalon, Izan, Ekron, and the remnant of Ashdod, Edom, Esau, the so-called white man, and Moab, Chinese, and the children of Ammon, Japanese, and all the kings of Tyrus, all the kings of Zidon, all the kings of the isles which are beyond the sea. So when we go out there, it tells you what Isaiah 34:1. We gather let the nations know their judgment. Yeah, they're going into captivity. Every last one of them. All right, every last one that's not the children of Israel, they're going into captivity. Then Dan, Tema, Baz, all that are in the uttermost corners, all the kings of Arabia, all the kings of the mingled people that would dwell in the desert, all the kings of Zamara, all the kings of Elam. And the subject of the matter is Elam. So they go into captivity. All the kings of the Medes, all the kings of the north, far, near, one with another, all the kings of the world. So, so they covered all the tracks. You can say, oh, what about Japhet? What about this? All the kings, everybody, which are upon the face of the earth, and the king of Shirak shall drink of them. Therefore thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, drink ye and be drunken, spew and fall, rise no more, because of the sword which the Lord will send among you. Scripture says what? Affliction shall not rise up a second time. These nations are that rise up to the top, they're never going to go back to the top again. So the kingdom of heaven is going to be a joint conglomerate of all nations. The kingdom of heaven is Israel on top, everybody else is underneath them. And and everybody else is going to be above Edom. Okay? He's going to be right where he belongs, the bases of men. Because these nations are following his philosophy, his ways, and look what is causing them. Can you imagine? Well, we can, because it happened to us. But your relatives is across the street, but somebody, instead of being a mediator to bring peace amongst us, they started a conflict. So generations of the generations were related to the person next door, but or across the street, we can't stand them because of a lie. Something that the man that's supposed to be the middleman has started. It says Proverbs, roughly paraphrasing it, the Lord hates them that cause discord against brethren. And Esau has done that. He practiced that everywhere he goes. Because it's easier to divide and conquer a nation then allow them to come together. That's a tactical thing. But that act is going to be Esau's downfall. And his history has spoken, even his future, because it's Esau that's going to really destroy Esau. And Yahawashi is going to be the one. And that's the Lord's plan, so that way he can nuke all of them. And it shall be, if they refuse to take the cup at thy hand to drink, thou shalt say unto them, thus saith the Lord of hosts, you shall certainly drink. What? So they can sit there and debate, say, oh, they can hire people to try to infiltrate camps and say all sorts of things to make it seem that brothers are going crazy, lying hate. No, they're going to drink. They're going to go into captivity. They're going to go into slavery. All these nations. All right. For lo, I begin to bring evil on the city, which is called by my name. And right now, the Lord's about to bring evil towards his people again. Which are you blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay? He's about to do it again. The joblessness, the broken economy, everything. He says, and should ye be utterly unpunished? So you think you're gonna y'all think y'all gonna get out of this situation scot-free? Ye shall not be unpunished, for I will call for a sword upon the inhabitants of the earth. What is that sword? That's ICBM nuclear missiles. So you had Pakistan and India have nuclear capability. Hey, Yahawashi said it the best to Peter. Those that live by the sword will die by the sword. That's why it's a blessing to be a worm, to be a nobody, that we can defend ourselves. Because having those abilities, you're marking yourself for death. Alright? And it says, on the inhabitants of the earth, saith the Lord of hosts. Therefore prophesy thou against them all these words, and say unto them, the Lord shall roar from on high, and utter his voice from his holy habitation. He shall mightily roar upon his habitation. He shall give a shout as they that tread the grapes against all the inhabitants of the earth. So did this happen? No. This is the future prophecy of what the Lord is about to do. Yahawashi is coming to make war with the nations. This is the Lord's determination. This is what he's doing. The Lord is causing all the division on the earth. All right. Hey, when you go into the history, one of the best stories is what the Lord did. Matter of fact, there's one story. I believe it was Jehoshaphat, and then he was surrounded by Moab, Edom, and another nation, and they was coming against Israel. So Jehoshaphat cried unto the Lord. All Israel cried unto the Lord. Well, Judah, Benjamin, Levi. And the Lord said, because he heard the cries of Israel, Judah, that he was going to do something amazing. And what did the Lord do? He had Edom, Moab. It was Edom, Moab, and Ammon kill each other. They was killing each other. All right? And Israel didn't have to pick up a sword or nothing. So that is going to be heightened on a greater level, a worldwide level, where the children of Israel is not going to couldn't even defend themselves. All right? The elect is going to have spiritual powers, but overall, Israel is not going to be able to defend themselves. But the Lord is the one that's going to come on high and defend his people. That is the 12th chapter tells you. All right? A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth. All right, those ICBM nuclear missiles. For the Lord have a controversy with the nations. So can the nations make it? No. All right? None of these nations are going to make it. When I mean make it, they're going to be punished. They're not going to be in the kingdom of heaven being equals. All right? They're going to be beneath. And he will plead with all flesh. That plea is not what you think. It's going to mean the Hebrew word Shabbat. He's going to judge them with all flesh. He will give them that are wicked to the sword, saith the Lord. It just says, thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation. And ain't that evil? Bad times? So bad time is World War III. We're in the verge of a World War III. And what's going to cap it all off is when Israel attacks Iran, the U.S. gets involved, Russia gets involved, then all bets are off. But the number one thing needs to be out there is an MOTB. All right? That's going to capitalize, that's going to peak the evil that's going to come on the earth. It says, and a great whirlwind shall be raised up from the coasts of the earth. Ooh, I like this. It says, NLT, this is what the Lord of Heaven's army says. Look, disaster will fall upon nations after nation. A great whirlwind of a fury rises from the most distant corners of the earth. Japan, Australia they're a neutral area. So Japan, China, India, the Philippines, because there's U.S. bases there, Taiwan, all these nations. All right, they're all gonna get nuked or be participants of the wrath of the Lord. All right, the scripture says the earth is rocked to and fro. And it says, and the slain of the Lord shall be at that day, from one end of the earth even to the other end of the earth. They shall not be lamented, neither gathered, nor buried. They shall be dung upon the ground. So yeah, the Lord's determination is to massacre the majority of people of the earth. All right, this is a scary time. There's going to be people remaining, but the majority of the people are going to be wiped out. Going to be. So, all you guys out there trying to save this nation, that nation, all the nations going to make it. Was this prophecy fulfilled? No. This is a prophecy that will happen. So with that being said, shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.